Welcome to ARW. Today I'm going to do a little demonstration of making something with tinkercad. This is sort of a cooperative thing with David over at Foxburg's Fabricoblin. He came up with the idea that he would show you guys how to use Fusion 360, and I would show you guys something about using tinkercad. And so he made a cylinder 3 inches tall and 3 inches in diameter with an 1.5 inch hole in the middle and 8 half-inch holes around the circumference. And so I'm going to make the same thing to show you that there's similar steps to use in tinkercad, not the same but similar. And today we'll use on the keyboard, we'll use Control D, which is in most software packages it means to duplicate whatever you've got. In tinkercad, if you want to select several things, you do Shift left mouse, and that will select more than one thing. Once you've selected these more than one thing, you can do Control D on it if you're in a good mood and that's what you want to do. Okay, so, and I'm not going to, don't think I'm going to keep on showing more tinkercad how-tos, because this has been a real pain. I've done this thing about 3 times. My screen capture had bad sound the first time, so I threw it away and I did another capture. Everything should have been alright except the capture didn't get saved, and so on. So I'm doing this one more time all the way through, and hopefully it'll come out alright this time. Maybe. Okay, so here we go. We're going to make the same thing in tinkercad that Dave over at Foxburg's Fabricoblin made with Fusion 360, and he's convinced me to go ahead and try Fusion 360 again. And I went over there and I filled out all their blanks and answered all their questions. And when I clicked the download button, they said there's something wrong with your license. So it's not like they're making it easy. I'll maybe get it eventually. We'll see. For some reason, screen capture is not working for me now. It was before, but not now. So I'm going to crank up the stupid app again, and we're gonna hope Power Director works. And if it does, lovely, and if it doesn't, well, too bad. Okay, we'll go to screen recorder, and we've got the microphone and it's working, and we're going to do F9 to make it start recording. Okay, that makes it start recording. Now then, supposedly this is being captured. Now you can see I have already made this thing one time, but we're going to come along. Actually, I've made it 3 or 4 times. Hit delete. Oh wait, I have to unlock it. There we go. Now when I hit delete, it all goes away. We're going to start over fresh. Now, normally tinkercad wants to work in millimeters, but if you come down to the bottom of the screen, right down there, edit, grid, you got units here. You've got millimeters, inches, and bricks. Got no idea what bricks are. And you just choose which one you want. Alright? Now I've already chosen inches, which is what I like. Now we're going to drag ourselves a cylinder over here, because that's what this is all about. It's a cylinder. We're going to come to this little icon in the corner there and roll it over to where it shows front. If you double click on whatever thing, front, top, side, it'll square it up with the screen. Alright, now we want this thing to be 3 inches tall, and so there's a 1 out there. We're going to turn that 1 to a 3. Now then we're going to pick this little guy, turn it. We want it to be 3 inches in diameter. There's a 1 there. We'll turn him to a 3 inches in diameter. Well, we roll him over where I can find the one that didn't work. There we go. 3 inches in diameter. Alright, we're just using the arrow button, the arrow keys, to move it around. And we just have to center it up, sort of. Now you see how it's got all this jagged edge there? The way you get rid of that is to decrease the number of sides. See how much smoother it is now? I run it up to like 52 sides. Alright, so we'll drag us another thing over then in a cylinder. This is a hole. Alright, now this hole needs to be 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches. Okay, and then we want it to be a particular height. We want it to be 3 inches tall. We hit that. Well, bring it back to the top. I would like for that to go away. Alright, there it's 3 inches tall. Alright, now then I'll just use the arrow key to come over here and move it down to approximately the center. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to select both, and then I'm going to come up here to this little icon right here that is a line, and you get these little dots, and they align different things in different ways. And I believe this one is what centers everything in the center. Looks like it worked. Okay, you just click out here somewhere, and all that command goes away. All right, now then we want to have holes around it, so we'll drag this other hole over here. We'll roll it back around. I'm going to drag this hole. Well, let me move. Dang it! I want that hole. Move that hole around here to the front where I can see it, and I'm going to click on it here. It's going to be 1/2 inch. That's 0.5, and we'll click on it over here. That's 0.5, and we want it to be 3 inches tall. Click on it there. Put a 3 in there. Alright, now we've got a 3-inch tall hole. Alright, we're going to roll this thing around. I messed that other thing up, didn't I? I sure did. Alright, we're going to move this hole back up out of our way. It went perfect every other time that I did this. Alright, we'll hit the align button. We'll hit this little rod right there. Wrong one. Alright. I'm going to hit the align button again. Must be this one. There. There we go. We're aligned again. Alright, now let's select our hole. Move it down here. That needs to just move. Alright, he may or may not be equally spaced there. In fact, none of it's equally spaced at this point. Let me go back through the align and make sure that I've got it right. Alright, I think that aligned everything just right. And we'll move our hole down here. We'll do a Control D on it, and that duplicates it. We'll move its duplicate down here. Alright, now then, Control D should have duplicated it right on top of the other one. There, now then, see the little arrow here curved? Come over here to the hole, 45. Let's turn him 45 degrees. Alright, we do Shift, Select, Select, Control D, little arrow, come on, Shift, Select, another 45 degrees. Alright, Shift, left mouse, Control D, where's our little arrow? Right there, 45. And there you are. You've got 8 holes in a circle, and it's all 3 inches tall, just like And don't worry about the fact that the holes are sticking up. The stuff sticking up will go away. After all, it's a hole. Okay, you can see that the holes should be coming through the bottom. You can select them and you can push them down a little bit. Well, you want to make sure that they're sticking through. Alright, now then, just roll it over and look at the bottom. The only one not sticking through is this guy right here. Alright. Now it should be just right. While we have a little bit of stuff on the side, I don't know. You saw when I started, the one I had already made was basically perfect. Why this thing decided to plague me now, I don't know. But nevertheless, this is the worst time I've had with it yet, so I don't know what to say. Alright, so that concludes it anyway. I could export that thing. Now I can make it just a little bit taller if I want to make sure that they're sticking through right. I have to unlock it. And I can come over here and roll it a little bit. No. Alright. Now then, make it. There. Making sure that we get rid of all those little imperfections, because I know somebody out there is going to say, well, yeah, but look, you didn't do it right. So, I wish the screen capture had worked before, and I would be suffering through this because everything went perfect before. Of course, it didn't save it. Alright, now then, let's look at the bottom. They're through the bottom, they're through the top. So, lasso the whole thing and we'll lock it. Now it's one piece, one item, one drawing indivisible with liberty and justice for all. Alright, there you are. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you, I could export this. I could export it as an object, STL, GLTF, or SVG. Myself, I use STL or SVG. SVG is for my plasma cutter, STL for the 3D printer. And there you are. I think that ought to be good enough. We can terminate this thing right here. We will stop there. And I hope that I have captured something. I can see over here on this other screen, there's a capture there. And if it's no good, I'll load it into the editor and we will, well, we'll do a voiceover. How's that? But so much for their tinkercad will make it go away. Alright?